Welcome to episode 73 of Marathon Talk, powered by Abbott World Marathon Majors. On this week's show, we've got all the news from around the running world. Sydney announces its elite field. There was an attempt to make middle distance running history. More than 1.1 million people found out they'd be running next year's TCS London Marathon. Plus, me and Deena go head to head in an end of term epic quiz. All this and more on Marathon Talk. Deena, have you been?
Oh, I've been great, Martin. Summer's been amazing here in the mountains, but for the first time ever, I have been to back-to-back concerts. My daughter got out of school.
Can I try and guess who you went to see?
Sure, go guess.
Sabrina Carpenter.
No, but I would love to. I have friends that have tickets to see her. I think it would be so fun to dress up like a little Barbie doll and go see her in concert. I went to see The Weeknd in Los Angeles with my daughter, and we had so much fun. He was amazing. And then I flew to San Francisco this past weekend with girlfriends to celebrate one of their birthdays, and we saw Shakira. And what I learned there is that running does not transfer. My hips were lying big time. I was the only bimbo in this entire stadium that could not shake my hips. I was looking around me like, how does everyone know how to dance like this? So I need dance lessons big time.
Got time for a demo? I know it's not ideal kind of podcast material, but you know, it would be fun.
Too inappropriate.
So you've been dancing and not running. Been dancing and not running.
No, I'm building up my mileage for Sydney. I've been super busy, but I am prioritizing getting in those runs. So it's been very exciting. Very exciting time.
How many weeks for you until Sydney now?
We're 2 months out. Like I've got a crash course. Like my long runs are not long enough yet. I really need to build them up, but I need to do it smartly too, right? Because I don't want to risk not getting to that starting line. So how has your training been going? What have you been up to? It's been very busy at your house.
It's been quite busy, yes. And last time we chatted, I was kind of quite buoyant, wasn't I, about my running? I was thinking I'm on the comeback trail. Our runners out there are one of the few people who will understand the nature of what it means to be a runner when you have that up and down, like, comeback. Mm-hmm. You know, it's never smooth, is it? It's never smooth. It's always like, well, I think I'm getting better, and you go up and up and up, and then you dip, and then you go up and up, and you get all excited. And last time I think we chatted, I was excited.
You were on a high, yeah.
I'm less excited. I'm less excited because I've got a little heel like niggle, and it's just been annoying, and it won't go away. I've been trying to manage it, so unfortunately, it's meant that my running has taken a bit of a back seat. So
how do you manage it physically, like any type of therapy? And then how do you manage it emotionally, that little bit of roller coaster in this
physically,
training process?
I'm really bad. So what I do is I just don't run for a bit. So, you know, like I've run once this week, 5 miles. Mm-hmm. And I'm back to sort of managing something which I thought was better. I went away last week. Mm-hmm. I went to Mallorca where my daughter learnt to scuba dive. So I was able to get out on my bike. So one of the great things about not just running is that I can go cycling. So I did some lovely riding around Mallorca.
You've done that before. I never would have guessed Mallorca was a good place for cycling, but I know you've taken trips specifically to do that. But swimming in the ocean while your daughter is scuba diving is also great therapy.
Toughing it out. So, I did a little bit of biking and I did one run, and it just started to hurt in fact, it didn't hurt. Have you ever had these runs where it doesn't hurt in the run and then it hurt after? Yeah. And I was like, well, I've just done this great run. And I got back and I felt like, my pace was good. I picked it up and I got it home and I had a shower and I went to go out with Ruby and I was limping like a sort of injured old man, dragging my foot to the buffet with Ruby. Yeah, so I tucked into a massive buffet, had a couple of holiday beers, and went back and sweated it out. Brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it is weird that you can suck it up in the run, and then it seems like as soon as you sit down, everything starts to tighten back up again.
I don't know what it was, but it's one of those. So I'm back monitoring it a little bit. But hopefully, Deena, it's what we deal with, isn't it, as runners? A little bit of up and down. We've got very good resilience. We're really good at bouncing back as long as we listen to our bodies. In the news this week, Sydney Marathon elite women's field was announced, and topping the field, of course, none other than the legendary Deena Kastor. No. The legendary Sifan Hassan will lead the way for the women. Very exciting debut in Sydney for her. The rest of the elite field include Bridget Kosgei, former world record holder, winner in London 2019, 2020 and Chicago in 2018 and 2019. The winner of Berlin in 2019, Ashete Bekeri, is in the race along with last year's winner, Worknesh Adesa. The men's field will be announced next week, but promises to be equally as impressive. We only know that Eliud Kipchoge will be down under to take part in the race so far, but isn't it exciting to see Sifan Hassan, Bridget Kosgei towing the line? I think that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a really well-matched race for its first year as a Abbott World Marathon major, and it could be anyone's race. But as we were also seeing, there's so many rising stars. There's going to be names in the mix, people that we haven't heard of, or some of the people that have podiumed or just missed the podium at some of the World Marathon majors that could be up there. But it is bound to be a really exciting race on a challenging course. All of these women know how to win a major race. So I think as long as their training goes well in the next couple of months, this is going to be a really well-matched race.
In the wheelchair race, Marcel Hug looking to add another Abbott World Marathon major title to his already stellar collection. There's more athletes again in the chair events to be announced later this week.
It's been such an exciting week in the running world because aside from the marathon, we got to witness Faith Kipyegon attempting to break 4 minutes in the mile. And just as we tuned in for 2 hours to watch Eliud Kipchoge break the 2-hour barrier, it was really a hyped up event. I will say, and I was thinking about this a lot on my run after watching her, that it felt very marketed and it fell flat to me because it was very clear early on in the race that she was not gonna break the 4-minute barrier. And it was so choreographed and staged, like everything about it. It was a 40-minute broadcast, I think. I only tuned in to 4 minutes and 6 seconds of it. I didn't want to watch the rest of it. But she missed breaking the 4-minute barrier by 6 seconds. She did lower her world record, but it didn't count, obviously, because it was more of a Nike-driven marketing event. So it was interesting. Did you end up watching it where you were, Martin?
I have watched it. I watched it back, but I didn't watch it live. So I'm sort of a little torn with attention with the, promotional events, because obviously what a promotional event does is it promotes something, right? And the purpose, it's a marketing exercise, isn't it? It's about PR. And essentially, as long as you look at it through the lens of PR, and I think sometimes we look at it through the lens of PR and we also try and look at it through performance. So it's really important to get the distinction between this is an amazing performance, but it is also PR, right? And for me, I'm old school. I love performance. I don't need the PR, right? What makes things amazing and exciting for me is the performance, right? So, the kind of razzmatazz around it and the staging and the pacing and the formations and the, had she gone out and run 4:05 in a BMC race, British Milers Club race, I'd have been like, that is remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she runs amazing. But I think there's an element of purist approach for me there. And sometimes investment, as we saw with Kipchoge's breaking 2, sub 2, the investment really makes a significant difference, because the investment makes entertainment, and entertainment is spectacle, and spectacle brings fans, and fans bring investment, you know, and with investment comes greater sponsorship, and with greater sponsorship comes greater opportunity for all the athletes and the spectators and the sport as a whole. So I can kind of see the big picture. But then the purist in me thinks, just have a smackdown. Just have a good old race. See who comes out the top. You know, I'm just as interested in that. I think what was disappointing in this case was that she was so far away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so far away. I know it doesn't seem like far, 6 seconds. But over a mile, that's a long way. I think the ask was too great. You know, she ran faster than she'd ever run a mile before. You know, remarkable achievement. But you could tell from early on in the race that it wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes events like that entertainment is when it's close, isn't it? It's like a promoted boxing match when you know there's only going to be one winner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like the big strong guy just pounds the other bloke, you know, and it's not really very interesting. And in this case, the distance and the mile, you know, 1,609 meters got the better of Faith.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. And she was, relatively speaking, miles away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you talk about performance, it's more and purity of the sport, it's more like the head-to-head competition that's exciting, because the best bring out the best in one another. So maybe if she did have other threatening women alongside of her, other women that could possibly break 4, because in me, I'm also thinking like, before Eliud Kipchoge's breaking 2, it was like, wow, is it humanly possible? That was such a long driven question. For years, physiologists have been determining whether it's even possible for a human being to be capable of breaking 2 hours. Is it humanly possible for a woman to break 4 minutes in the mile? And so it was a fun question.
Of course it is.
But I also think
it's just not yet, right? Of course it's possible.
Yeah.
Of course it's possible. We talk about this all the time on the show. You know, I realise who I'm speaking to. You never hold back the power and potential of a strong woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Woe betide, because that is, you know, 84, what was it? In 1984 was the first Olympic Games where women ran the marathon event. And men stood in the way for so many years before that, saying, "Oh no, women can't possibly do that," mm-hmm. You know. And there's no way. And I didn't feel a sense of whether there was a possibility here. I feel a sense that the possibility is definitely there, but it's big, isn't it? Like 6 seconds over a mile. It's just big.
But also imagine, as you talk about performance, imagine the different mentality of going into this over-marketed event and racing to your fullest potential, or going into that head-to-head competition where you feel like everything is on the line, right? I'm gonna run as hard as I can for these 4 laps.
Yeah.
But what if someone outkicks me? What if this woman outkicks me? And so that competitiveness of lining up against a peer, against your biggest competitors, mm-hmm. really does offer a bigger emotional investment. And I think that was lacking.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. It felt. You know, we know up front that these events are exhibitions, aren't they? They're entertainment, mm-hmm. They're exhibitions, and so they don't have the same set of rules. But when you put the excitement of genuine racing, and you don't have the constraints of an exhibition event, entertainment, mm-hmm. so it feels really, really authentic. You know, because it is an actual proper, you know, race. That's the thing which I think will lead to a sub 4 minute mile for women. You know, when we reach the time when there are more than one female 1500 meter runner, capable of running inside 350 regularly, right? And really pushing close, and we're not really there, right? We don't see that, do we? And you've got to be able to do that. If you're going to run a sub 4 minute mile, you need to be able to do that at least, because you've still got extra to do, 100 meters, whatever it is, a little bit extra. So you're like, I need to be able to go through. And we don't see that in women's 1500 meter run. We don't have a crop of women running under 350. I'm sure we will at some point, but it's not yet, is it? Yeah. So I just think we're not quite there yet. I could be eating my words.
Someone out there has the right exercise in the gym or the right workout to do on the track to get us there. But it'll come. I hope it's in our lifetime.
Finally, to follow on from that, here's a quick roundup of some other stories from the marathon world. You may have entered the ballot for the TCS London Marathon, because over 1.1 million people did. A new record, the most in history, applying for the ballot for the TCS London Marathon. Up to 20,000 very lucky runners received emails last week to let them know they had been successful. It's quite a thing when that mail drops. You know, you get the message and it says you're in, and you're like, get in. Not that I've ever had one. And on a related note, Tokyo Marathon announced an increase in its number of participants. It's looking to attract more international runners to its race ahead of its 20th anniversary in 2027. We know, of course, that marathon running in Japan is huge. And so, the Tokyo Marathon is hugely oversubscribed, but often it's Japanese runners doing it, right? And now there's a real push for Tokyo to have more runners, with a push to have more of them international.
That's great. We listened to you out there, and it's great to see that the fields are opening up, because marathons are so popular, and it becomes a safety issue, right, of opening up that participation to a larger amount of people. But super exciting that people are getting more affirming emails that they are getting into these races. And some of them have worked years at trying to get into these races. So good luck, everybody.
Right, next up, a special segment on the show. It's the end of the Marathon Talk season. We will be back, of course, after a short break. However, this is a new segment, end of season, Marathon Talk quiz. We don't have a special name yet. We do need one. This end of season Marathon Talk quiz is 4 rounds, and it's going to be me versus Deena, who can get the most questions right. So there's 4 rounds. Round 1 is called To the Second. We're going to guess some finish times of some races. Round 2 is called 6-star choices. We're going to have some multiple choice questions about 6-star events. Round 3 is called Fill the Gap. We're going to be asking each other questions about winners of races. Play along with us if you want, listeners. And round 4, quick fire questions. We're going to be talking about some of our favourite races. And trust me, right, we don't have the answers to these. So we are genuinely doing this where we only have the questions. We don't have the answers. I've just told Deena, right, we're not recording. I've just told Deena I've got a bit of a back sweat with worry. So she said she's also worried as well, because this could go either way in terms of embarrassment.
Yeah, and I also feel like we're starting to get very competitive. Like, what happened to our New York City Marathon experience where we were just like jolly, running along, taking in the scene? Now we're starting to have these competitions like our Global Run Club Challenge and this quiz that we're doing at the end of the season. Disclaimer, I'm terrible at trivia, so I apologize if I butchers anybody's time or name.
So am I.
Please don't take offense.
So am I. Right, should we get going? So let's see how we go. Let's see how we get on. Right, round 1 in the quiz, okay, we're going to be asked to give finish times of 3 races. The person who guesses the closest finish time gets 5 points.
Your first race time to guess is from the 2025 Tokyo Marathon, the winner of the women's race.
Tokyo 2025 women's finish time. Whoa. Okay, I'll say it first, Deena, and then you can decide, right?
I got it in my... Do we have to do seconds?
Of course we do.
Yeah.
What do you think this is? Some sort of like...
Okay.
Of course we do. 2:19:47.
Oh. I think 2:20:45.
2:20. So we've got 2:19:47 from me. What did you say?
I don't remember.
What did you say?
Did I say 2:21:40?
I said 2:19:47 and you said
2:21:45.
2:21:45. Okay.
The correct answer was 2 hours, 16 minutes, 35 seconds.
Oh
of
my
course.
God.
Well, see, I didn't remember it being quite that fast down at 2:16. But I do remember, I think it being faster than 2:20. Sutemi Kebede won that race. 2:16, was it 57?
Nobody runs 2:20 anymore. Everyone's running faster than that.
Okay, let's go for the next race, shall we?
Okay.
Race 2, 2025 Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America, women's race winner.
Bank of America, Boston, 2025 women's race. Was there any special conditions? What?
I'm trying to remember.
You got to go first this time.
Okay. I think, was it Sharon Lokedi? And did she run a course record?
I'm not telling you.
I think she ran, well, it's Boston. Boston's hard. I think she ran I don't even know what the course record is there. 2:22 flat.
You see, I think like you in your previous question, you said nobody runs 2:20 anymore.
I know, but then it's Boston.
Gone and said.
Did I just bite myself
Boston
in the butt?
2:22.
Can I change my answer?
No, first answer is the only answer I can accept, I'm afraid.
Oh my God. Now I want it to be faster.
2:20. I'm just going to go with some number symmetry. 2:20:22. Can't remember who won it.
She broke 2:20. I know she did.
Do you want another go? Go on.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to break the rules. Your rules. You're going to keep bringing up rules.
Oh no, we're both not.
Martin wins. 2 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds.
The answer was 2:17:22, of course.
Sharon Nakedi. Okay, come on.
Good job,
race 3.
Sharon.
Race number 3, the 2025 TCS London Marathon, the winner of the men's event.
Oh, God.
Well, it was Sebastian Soe.
Sawe.
And
was it a course record?
I think he ran. I'm going to go 2:01:52. It might have been a bit quicker. Oh, I was there. I was calling it. I was there.
2:01. Yeah, you were in the media room talking about it. What did you say?
2:01:52. But
I'm going to say 2:02:05.
The winning time was 2:02:27.
Finally, I got my first 5 points, everyone.
Don't get above your station. We've got a long way to go.
The answer was
2:02:27. Okay, let's move to the second round. This round of the quiz is called 6-Star Choices. I'm going to ask Deena 3 multiple choice questions on 6-star stats. Each answer is worth 5 points. And then after round 2, we'll give you a little update on who's ahead, because clearly we know at the moment
You are, clearly.
Ahead. Right, ready for your questions? Ready for your questions?
I'm ready. Ready
Okay.
as I'll ever be.
Okay. How many 6-star finishers hail from Canada? I'm going to give you 2 answers, right?
Okay.
996 or 997.
Oh my gosh. Canada. Can I do some numerology? Can I call a friend here? Do some numerology?
No, and you definitely can't do any trade deals.
I'm going to say, what was the second answer? It was 90 something, 997.
I would just have a go. Yeah, 997. Okay, the answer is 996. Deena, you had a 50-50 chance and you got it right.
I'm willing to bet this is going to be a trend.
Okay, here we go. Your second question. How many female 6-star finishers hail from the US? 3,065 or 3,066?
3,066.
3,066? It's 3,065, Deena.
This is the cruelest quiz ever.
Well, it's not. It's called the Quiz of Truth. All quizzes about truth, aren't they?
I need to pay better attention to the Abbott World Marathon Major Instagram feed.
Oh, this is a good one. How many male 6-star finishers are aged between 30 and 34? Have a guess at home, audience. I'm going to give you the 2. 457 or 458?
I think more power to the men, 458.
458 was your answer, and 458 is the correct answer, Deena.
Oh my gosh, what a relief.
Pressure's
I only
on.
got 5 points. I only got one of the questions right.
Come on, Em.
How
Hit
sad.
me.
Okay. Are you feeling ready?
Mm-hmm. Born ready.
Born ready. Martin, how many 6-star finishers hail from Ireland? Right back at you. Was it 391 or 392?
I know that. It's 392.
Oh, you said that with such confidence, but the real answer is 391. This is so mean.
Come on, then.
I feel
Just
like
get
if
it
we
over
said
with.
like 5,000 or 391, that might be a little easier. Okay, your second question. How many male 6-star finishers hail from France? 475 or 476?
It's definitely 476.
You could change my mind if it's not the right answer.
It is.
But you are right. You said that with the confidence of someone who just knows that. 476 6-star finishers, male finishers hail from France. And your final question,
Yes.
How many female 6-star finishers are aged between 50 and 54? Female 6-star finishers aged between 50 and 54.
Well, I'm looking at one of them.
What? 1,645
Yes.
or 1,646?
It's the latter, 1,646. Yeah.
It is not. It is 1,645 female 6-star finishers between 50 and 54. So fun playing with you, Martin.
Thanks very much. Right, let's go to the scores, shall we? After the first two rounds, I think I'm still ahead.
You're winning 15-10.
Yeah, I am winning 15-10. Let's move on, shall we? Round 3. This is called Fill in the Gap. We're going to ask each other questions and fill in the gaps on the winners of each races. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay, ready? Fill in the gap. I'm going to ask you the first question.
Okay.
Female winners of the Chicago Marathon, 2017 to 2019.
Wow.
Tirunesh Dibaba,
Uh-huh.
Gap, Bridget Kosgei.
Tirnesh Dababa Gap. So that's 2018 winner.
Mm-hmm. This is
What?
really difficult.
Was it Tirnesh Dababa? Did she win twice, 2 years in a row? Tirnesh Dababa is
your final answer.
Is my answer.
Okay, I don't know the answer. It was Bridget Kosgei.
When she broke the world record.
Get your coat.
How could I forget that?
Right, next one. Male winners of the Boston Marathon 2019 to 2022. Lawrence Chirono, Gap, Evans Chibet. Do you want a clue?
So, Chirono.
They also won Tokyo and Chicago.
So I'm looking for 2000. Am I looking for 2019? I'm looking for 2021.
This is the question.
Which year am I looking for?
You are looking for 2021, I think.
It's got to be Yuki Kawauchi or Benson Kipruto, but I have to give you one of them, huh? If you said they also won Benson. I think Benson Kipruto. I feel so insecure.
That is the correct answer. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Yuki Kawauchi.
No, I think that was before.
But you gave me a clue. That's how that really helped me. I would have been absolutely lost. Okay.
Okay, ready? Last one. Complete the sequence. Who wrote these questions? Complete the sequence. John Corrier, Abdi Nagay, Gap. Clue. The sequence stretches over the 2024-2025 season.
John Corrier won Chicago. So then it would be who won New York that year? And then who, and then the winner of Tokyo? Oh my God.
That's really difficult, but come on.
I'm trying to think.
We haven't got all day.
It wasn't, Tamarat Tola.
The correct answer was Tadesse Tekeli.
I don't think I would have gotten that.
That's a very difficult round. Come on, give me mine.
I don't think I would have gotten that. All right, Martin.
I'm going to struggle with this. You struggle. I'm really going to struggle. Go on.
You're going to fill in the gaps. The male winners of the Boston Marathon 2016 to 2018. Gosh. It was Lemmy Burhanu in 2016, Jeffrey Karui in 17, and you are going to fill in the gap on who won the 2018. The clue is that it's one of only 2 elite male 6-star finishers. Does that help you?
Not really. I'm trying to think who was running back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, well, we're asking for 2018. I'm going to give you one more clue because I care a lot about you. If you remember, 2018 was that super rainy, cold nor'easter year.
Then I know it. Mm-hmm. It was Yuki Kawauchi. You said it.
Yeah.
Yay.
I was being nice to you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Okay, Come on then. Well done.
Okay. Female winners of the Berlin Marathon 2017 to 2019. Gladys Chirono, and then 2019, Berlin. We talked about her earlier in the show.
Oh, no. Really?
Because she won Berlin.
In 2019?
Mm-hmm.
The year before COVID. Have we mentioned her name? Have we mentioned her name already in the show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Scroll up on your show notes.
It wasn't Gladys Chirono again. There wasn't a three-peat.
Do you give up or do you want to cheat and scroll up on your show notes? It's Ashede Bakire.
I don't think I'd have got that.
Okay, final question. Complete the sequence. blank Sheila Chepkarui, Sudame Kabede, and the clue is that the sequence stretches from 2024 to 2025.
God, it's so difficult.
Mm-hmm. What if I told you that there's a blank and then Sheila Chepkarui, I think, won New York that year, and Sudame Kabede won Tokyo before that? So would it be the winner of Chicago? If I'm getting that sequence right. I'll give you the point if I lead you astray and you guess the person.
I'm just going to have to guess somebody like Tejas Asifa. I'm not confident though.
It was a world record.
God, of course it was.
Yeah, Ruth Chepngetich.
We're rubbish. Why are we the host of this? Why are we the host of this show? Have we just gone out to like random punters and gone, do you want to come in and host a podcast about the Abbott World Marathon Majors? Because these two junkers don't know any questions. Right.
I actually think this test was made to see if we should keep our jobs or not, and I think we just lost them.
Okay, right. Quick fire questions. Okay. In this question, I think this is round 4, final round of the quiz. We select our favourite race. There, we have 1 minute to name as many male or female winners as we can. All right?
In a minute?
A minute's quite a long time.
Let's just note that Martin is ahead 20 to 15.
Okay, so I'm going to go
points.
ahead. We're going to time a minute, and I'm going to choose TCS London Marathon. And I'm going to try and remember as many winners of both men's and women's as I can in that time. Okay.
Martin yelling.
Okay.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Paula Radcliffe. Deena Kastor. Sifan Hassan. Paris Chepchirchir.
You said his name earlier.
I nearly said Dick Beardsley then, wasn't it? Dick Beardsley won the first marathon. Eamon Martin, Wilson Kipsang, Eliud Kipchoge, Kelvin Kiptum, Sebastian Soe, Spanish. Oh, come on. Ingrid Christensen. Bridget Kosgei. Ruth Chepngetich.
Wow, that was impressive.
It wasn't, because you think you know them and then you think about it and you got them to the end of your mouth and you think, I was trying to think of just the names. And then I was trying to think of the year, and you don't have time in a minute.
Yeah, my heart was racing as you were.
I thought of the first one. And I couldn't remember who won the first London for women. I've racked him, and I think it was Joyce Smith, but I can't quite remember. I think it was Joyce Smith.
Are we saying men or women?
Well, I was answering men and women.
Or do we have to
answering men
choose?
and women.
That's true, because you said, okay.
Yeah. It was the race, so I answered men and women. I think Joyce Smith. And we used to see Joyce and Brian Smith, who are lovely, at every single London. And I just couldn't quite get Joyce Smith. But there we go. Okay, go on. Over to you.
Sweet.
What's your race?
I think I'll do Boston.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
go on then.
They're quite a bit. But hold on, I'm starting to have a panic attack. Don't start that clock. Okay.
But you couldn't even remember who won this year.
I know. I'm like seriously
just
starting to
unsettle you on the start line.
I know. Thanks. Little nudge.
Deena Kastor requires 18 points for the win.
Okay.
18 winner? I have to name. Oh God, I already feel like that's telling me that I'm starting 5 minutes back in a race.
If you want, you can have 2 points for every one you get right. That means you need 9.
Oh. I feel like that was a really cocky move by you.
Well.
Okay.
Deena Kastor, are you ready?
Yeah, go.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, it's John Career and his brother Wesley Career. It is Meb Keflezighi. It is John Kelly and Amby Burfoot, the first editor of Runner's World. Bill Rogers, of course. Did Lalisa DeCisa ever win? I think Lalisa DeCisa. What happens if you get it wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask. Okay, Edna Kiplagat. Sharon Lochetti, Des Linden, Yuki Kawauchi, Helen O'Beary, Joan Samuelson. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Really? Paris Jepchurcher. Oh my God. Rita Jeptu doesn't count because she tested positive for drugs. Catherine Deriba. Margaret Okayo, or was that New York City? Oh God, I'm starting to panic. Okay. How many was that? I seriously feel like that was super driven by anxiety. I didn't even name any wheelchair. Can we do Susanna Scaroni and Tatiana McFadden? Oh my gosh. Marcel Hoog. Oh, damn it.
Can't believe it. If I go with my 2-point rule, which I'm willing to do you know how many you got right?
How many did I get
13.
Right? Did I really?
13, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Take the points.
That was major panic.
Take the points and run, if you want.
No, I'm not going to. I need to play fair.
Okay. I'll take the win.
Seriously, can you see my hands shaking from that?
Yeah. It's really difficult. You think
that
it's
was
easy.
Intense.
And I bet there's somebody out there who can just reel off the names of every London. So here's a challenge, right? I wonder, is there anybody out there who can list the names of every single major, the winner of the men's and women's, every single major in order, back to back, without stopping, without getting any wrong?
Oh, challenge out there.
Yeah. So you got to do all the majors every single year. Can you list every single? That is like a proper memory challenge, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I bet there's people that can do it though. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
But there's some little listener homework. Right, shall we move on with the show?
Congratulations, Martin.
The final scores. Martin, 32. Deena, 27. Martin wins.
Right, closing out the show almost, we're going to do a check-in with our community, and particularly on our Global Run Club Challenge, before we break for the rest of the summer.
Yes, and why not? At this time of recording, my destroyers I think I'm dominators. My dominators have clocked a phenomenal 123,394 miles. Wow. And Martin, your team?
92,292 miles, which is still a long way. Nearly 100,000 miles. And interestingly, Deena, we do this, don't we? Because I'm one for quality. I like quality.
Here we go.
And the Martin's Mile Crushers have done 126.7 miles per athlete.
Whereas my athletes have run 996 miles per each of them. So no, I'm calling on my people.
What are you on about? They haven't run 996 miles each.
998.
No, they haven't done that at all. There's 998 people in your team. Each of them have done 120. Can
we edit this so I don't sound like I'm still shaking? I'm still shaking from that trivia question. Do you see how flush I am from that?
I think we should leave it in. So 123 miles
103 miles, yes, per athlete, 998 people. I need 997 of you, because I'm one of them, 997 of you to get going, because I need to make up for my trivia flaws displayed in full force today.
full Former winner of London, only just got a mention in my quiz. Former Olympic medalist, American record holder, but rubbish at quizzes. Right.
I need you guys. If you can join the challenge, please download the Global Run Club app on your preferred app store. And if you're on Instagram, you can comment challenge on any of our posts and we'll DM you the link to sign up. I need you.
Now, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we're going to be taking a little break over the summer. You'll see Marathon Talk in seasons, and this is a small break over the summer. This show will be the last episode until we return in August, all fresh, with a fresh trim, as my kids would say when they have a haircut. But we wanted to give a shout out to our community members who've gotten in touch over the last week or so to tell us their running plans in July and August. And first up, it's Paula Lee Jeans is set to take part in the National Senior Games in Des Moines, Iowa. She's competing in the 5K and the 10K. Good luck, Paula.
Right. And Ryan Murray is doing the Gold Coast Marathon as part of his preparation for the TCS Sydney Marathon. Can't wait to see you in Australia, Ryan.
And finally, Vincent O'Shea from Cork in Ireland is continuing his 1 marathon a month challenge. He just ran the Viking Marathon in Wexford. And July's marathon will be the Glenby Glencar Marathon in Kerry. In August, he'll be doing the Longford Marathon. Then he's heading to Berlin in September before getting his 6-star medal in Chicago in October. Effort reading the list.
That's it for another episode of Marathon Talk. If it's your first time listening, remember to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast platform. You can also follow us on our social channels for more. Search Marathon Talk on your platform of choice.
She's done it. She's got through the episode. Oh dear. What are you up to, Deena? Before we have a little break over the summer, what's summer going to look like in terms of running?
Yeah, really busy as I increase my mileage. I'm super excited to get in kind of those longer enduring runs as I prepare for Sydney and doing it in new places because we'll be camping and exploring outdoors because the weather's just been absolutely glorious. So awesome. Lots of exploring in my running shoes and hiking shoes. Can't wait for more and to reconnect with you soon. What are you going to be up to until we see each other next?
Well, summertime, a little bit of a holiday I expect. I'm going to the Alps and I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. I just accidentally happen to know that the campsite we have booked, the route of the Tour de France, is passing within 40 minutes on the hardest day, stage 18, with the 3 biggest classification climbs in the whole tour taking place on the same day. I told my wife this. I could
see where this is going.
She was staggered with enthusiasm. I said, you wouldn't believe it, but the tour is passing close to where we're going on holiday. So
what
maybe,
a coincidence.
I know. What a coincidence. So maybe I might even get to go and watch it if I'm a good boy. Right, that's probably it. Enjoy the summer and enjoy the run wherever it takes you.
Accidental,
my ass.